Hello and welcome to another episode. It's been a while, I know, but I finally came back, and this time I'm going to talk about a bit of history of Christmas. I know it was technically yesterday, but I had a little delay getting everything together. So, as always, do have my notes. So, before we begin, yeah, let's see. You'll notice I've got no arm on these. I was out and I smacked myself with the vehicle door. So, I've got no arm on the glasses. The lens is barely holding in. But, um, my Medicaid coverage kicks in starting in January, so just in time I can get some glasses. So, yeah, if you're kind of curious what's been going on. So, but that's why these are funky looking. Oh, yeah, that lens readjusted. But yeah, I'll need to get me some new glasses and everything. Um, but yeah, now let's begin. Um, the modern idea of Christmas as a celebration of the birth of Christ, uh, that's kind of how it's supposed to be. The problem is it's because the exchange of gifts have become such a prominent part excuse me, have become such a prominent part of the story of the history, the sorry, the tradition, that it's become a very capitalist venture. Um, yeah, it's more or less been co-opted to become about shopping and let's spend that money. So, unfortunately, at least that's the way it feels in the US. Maybe other viewers can point out that yes, it feels a little different, perhaps, where they're from. But, yeah. Um, there are a number of holidays that take place around the same time of year, um, opening up a realization that at this point in the year, um, at this point of year, the solstice essentially is important to several cultures, um, which normally our summer solstice is around, not summer solstice, winter solstice is around December the 21st. Um, But yeah, on the one hand, you have the Roman celebration of Saturnalia. It was held on the Julian calendar from December the 17th to the 23rd, which the Julian calendar was later found to uh, be off in its tracking of days and how it counts time, and was replaced with the modern calendar, or I believe it's the Gregorian calendar. I'd have to recheck that, but anyway, Saturn was the Roman version of the Greek titan Cronus, thus the name Saturnalia. The Romans believed Saturn was an agricultural deity who ruled over a golden age when mankind um, was in kind of an age of innocence and feasted off of the land. During the celebration of Saturnalia, there was a sacrifice at the Temple of Saturn in the Roman Forum, a public banquet, then gift giving, continuous partying, and a raucous carnival like atmosphere. Um, Now, on the other hand, you have the Germanic celebration of Yule. It took place around December the 21st through early January. The celebration of Yule is around a 12-day celebration because that's how long it said that it took the Yule log to burn. Um, but yeah, like I said, at the end of December, uh, and it also was around the time when the wine and the beer had finished fermenting. So there was plenty of ways to save the grains at that point, and you could celebrate. Um, Now, Yule often has ties as well to Nordic mythology and the god Odin. Um, it introduced traditions such as the Yule log and Yule singing. Yule was even celebrated by some modern day pagans, so it's actually still celebrated by some. Um, Early in Christianity, the birth of Jesus was not celebrated. So, early in the known life of Christianity, there was no celebration of Christmas, no celebration of the birth of Jesus. Easter, Easter was often considered the most important Christian holiday. So, um, the actual deciding of December the 25th as the celebrated birth of Jesus um, has no clear explanation. but it is clear that Julius Africanus supposedly deemed December 25th his birthday. Um, One of the claims for that date was the Christianizing of a popular Roman holiday known as Dies Solis Invicti Nati, also known as the day of the birth of the unconquered sun. Uh, in fact, there was a connection between the birth of the Son, the person, the Son, Jesus, and the birth of the Sun, the ball of helium and hydrogen. Since, your winter solstice also brought upon the point of the year when the days quit shortening and started getting longer again. So, there was also a connection held there. Um, Now, there is often questions as to the actual day um, Jesus would have actually been born, since many doubt he was actually born on December the 25th, because at that at that time of year, shepherds usually don't, have their animals in the fields feeding. They're a little more in at that point of year in December, so there's often some questions there. Um, Being in late December allowed Christianity to kind of envelop and adapt uh, pagan customs. So, like I said, Yule, Saturnalia, you'll see a lot of these customs now in modern day Christmas. Gift giving, Yuletide singing, the Yule log, as a matter of fact, the 12 days. You know, you have an entire song, the 12 days of Christmas. So, many of your traditions are you can find the connection to other traditions like Saturnalia and Yule. So, some of the celebrations involved raucous partying and the rich serving the poor and less fortunate, often going into the homes of the rich and kind of demanding to be given food and drink. So it was a seen as kind of a way to pay the debts you owed. So, um, with Oliver Cromwell's religious reform in England, 1645, I believe, Christmas was canceled. However, the holiday did come back to England with the reinstatement of Charles II to the to the throne. Cannot speak. while this happened in America, the Puritan settlers in the Massachusetts colony didn't celebrate Christmas in the U.S. and even banned the holiday in 1659 to 1681. Despite this, Jamestown supposedly celebrated the holiday. So yes, Christmas was kind of outlawed for a while. But after the American Revolution, many attempts to break away with English traditions pushed Christmas out of the American limelight. Um, it wouldn't be until 1870 that it would become a federal holiday in the U.S. In 1819, Irvin Berlin kind of rewrote the history of American Christmas with his book, The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, which really set up a lot of uh, the modern ideas that we have of Christmas. Around the same time in the early 1800s, um, Charles Dickens writes his famous tale, A Christmas Carol. And so a lot of the ideas we have of the modern spirit of Christmas, of giving, of, you know, it being a celebration for everyone, are kind of born from these two. So, um, let's see. There are other holidays around this time, even today. Um, let's see. There is the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. Um, there is, I believe it's the Hindu holiday Diwali. My apologies if I got that wrong, but I think it's Hindu. But anyway, Diwali. There's the holiday of Kwanzaa, and in Islam, there's the holiday of Eid al-Adha. So, but yeah. So the kind of point is, Christmas is not really unique. It's more of just a celebration that around this time of year, it's important for us to remember to stay together, to love one another. I guess would probably be the best we could pull from this, because it's not just Christmas. You know, there's other holidays around this time of year that really focus on, hey, things are going to get better. We've already hit the solstice, which means days are going to start getting longer again. The shortest day of the year has come and it is gone. So, um, but I will try to have the sources in my video, which I'll try to have listed in the description. But, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. It always helps. Um, and although some of you are knuckleheads, I do love you. I do hope the best for you. But until next time, I'll see you later.